These drives with the subtly ever-changing landscapes are my favorite. In less than 2 hours, we went from mountains to desert to mountains again, and now here, these beautiful rolling hills as we descend into the Bakersfield area. Very agricultural. We're staying at Orange Grove RV Park. Very nice. Every side has at least one orange tree, and you are encouraged to grab as many as you want. Over the next day or so, I am going to visit some somewhat secluded hot springs, the town of Bakersfield, and then continue towards Death Valley, passing by Fossil Falls. All that and more coming up next. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. Well, here we are. This is Orange Grove RV Park. There's a bunch of vintage RVs here in this area that they parked me. And there's another Micro Minnie over there. Yeah, quite a few vintage trailers. There's one, there's another one. But the main thing about this RV park is that you get your own orange tree. Well, we're gonna go exploring. I've got that live stream in about an hour. Hopefully we have enough bandwidth. Yes, like every Friday, I'm going to try and do that live stream that I do at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. where I am, and we are going to a pretty remote area, so we gotta play it by ear, okay? By the way, I do kind of have to hurry, in a way, because right now it is almost 2 p.m. here Pacific, and they're forecasting a rain for 5 p.m.
on Orange Grove Drive.
Such a beautiful area, even on this somewhat overcast day. Now entering the Kern River Canyon, and my first reaction is, this is incredible. What an unexpected surprise. Of course, the deeper we go into the canyon, the less chance of cell phone signal there is, so I must find somewhere to stop and do my live stream. There are many pullouts like this one. This is actually one of the larger ones, and if the cell phone signal is good, this might be a good choice for my live stream. This place is amazing! Yeah, very pleasantly surprised, as I said, by the Kern River Canyon here. What a great discovery. Okay, Mary loves Daddy. No, I don't think that qualifies as rock art. Okay, I'm getting decent internet here, so if worse comes to worse, I'm gonna save this spot and we can do the live video from here in a couple of, actually in 45 minutes. And there is no more cellular coverage. I knew it. The deeper we got into the canyon, the harder it was going to be to get a signal. And I can't leave you guys hanging, so I'm gonna have to turn around as soon as possible, which might be a challenge. What a gorgeous drive this is. Actually, I wish there were more places where I could pull over and admire the scenery, maybe even fly the drone. I mean, there are a few pullouts here and there, but most of them are really small and really meant to let people pass. Okay, here's my chance. A large pullout on the opposite side. Perfect. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to that spot where we had the marginal signal. We're gonna do the live video, perhaps a little early. And then I'm gonna come back all the way to the hot springs. Oh, hot springs, that's where we were going. Anyway, this place is gorgeous, oh my gosh. Yeah, not the greatest bandwidth, but I'll take it.
The reason why I am doing this live stream a little earlier than I had originally programmed. It is a gorgeous area. I had no idea. No IPA today. No, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, not the most reliable stream, but it still was fun.
And I'm on my way to...
Well, just did a live video from here, from this pullout. I think came out pretty good. And now I'm going to continue. Actually, it's getting sunny. It's like all of a sudden it's a nice sunny day. Oddly enough, everybody seems to be in a rush on this highway for some reason. So I'm going to. You don't really want to listen to me complain about the traffic now, do you? Not on this nice winding road. God knows I already do enough of that in Miami. Let's just enjoy the ride. We've been driving on California State Route 178, and now we are going to take Kern Canyon Road, Court 214, into the Sequoia National Forest. There's the 178 on the other side of the canyon. There's a schoolie here. There's another car parked over there, so this must be it. There seems to be this camping area. Let's check it out. Right there. Let's see where this place is. Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous out here. It's a pretty steep trail, of course. Later I'm going to find out that this is not the real trail, but hey, check out the river down there. There are actually several ways to get down there. I just think I managed to find one of the harder ones. Here we are, by the river. Now let's go find those springs. You can tell people have been camping here.
I've read a bunch of stories online about this being a crowded hot spring with almost like a party atmosphere at times, even complaints about nudity, but today there's no one here. And I think I prefer it this way, to be honest about it. This is quite the adventure, isn't it? Well, at least for me.
This is it. Well, here we go. These are the hot springs. They're artificial. Oh, it's very hot. Oh, my t-shirt. Okay, this one is colder. I guess the lower you go, the colder it gets. Wow, it's very nice, very pleasant. Ooh. I always wanted to do this. It kind of stinks.
I guess I'm not used to it, but there is something kind of unnerving about being here all by myself.
Alright, I think I'm gonna start heading back. Got my wish. The air is chilly. Well, this was certainly bucket list. Kind of, sort of, 80% to 90% bucket list. I always wanted to bathe in a hot spring, although this one is kind of artificial. So full bucket list is gonna be a natural one, you know, completely made by nature. Now, but at least I did it. It was a longer than I expected hike, and I hope I can find my way back. I think it's through here. There are 3 pools. One of them is really hot, the other one is warm, and the last one is almost cold. I mean, the temperature is probably 60, around there, Fahrenheit. Now it's gonna be a long hike up. It's only like a third of a mile, but it's steep. It's very steep. All the reviews said that it was a very busy hot spring, but there was no one there. So, and they also complained that the water might be a little dirty. It was fine. I wonder, maybe I can go up through here. Yep, this is. You see, I almost lost the trail there. It's not the best marked trail in the world, you know. You just have to follow like this dirt path created by people, I suppose. There are I haven't seen any blazes anywhere. Well, it's really steep now, so I'm gonna concentrate on the hike. It looks like someone forgot their towel here. You see? Up and up and up. Oh, foolish me, this was the trail. Okay, I guess now I know. The first time I came down, I came through some other trail, not the official one. I made it down there. Oh, cool. Now I know. I'm gonna go all the way back up. Back up.
Coming from South Florida, I'm still not very used to these changes in elevation, steep trails, so I'm really hyperventilating here. And I feel like such a fool. I came down that super steep trail not knowing that there was this slightly easier, much better marked trail. Oh well, live to learn. Also, I feel I should clarify, while the pools themselves are man-made, the actual hot spring is a natural hot spring.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the trailhead.
Yep, I emerged at a different place. Now I have to find my way back to the truck.
Yeah, I parked at the wrong place.
Let's start heading back. It is getting dark. It gets dark way too early here in California in the winter. It's not even 5 p.m. Let's fly the drone while we still can. And there I am.
Just a quick stop here to admire the view as it is kind of getting dark. What is this? Well, moon. Are these wild cows?
You know, from far away, I really thought they were bears. What are you looking at? And here we are, getting back on California State Route 178.
We've run out of daylight. Yep, darkness is upon us. But this was a great discovery. I really liked this road. There's so much to see.
Home sweet home.
Good morning. We seem to be having some bad weather coming our way today. So we're gonna make it another work day here at the campground. Maybe I'll make me some oranges.
Let's explore the RV park a little bit. And all these vintage trailers. I have to find out what's the name of the vintage trailer group. Seems to be some kind of rally. All these ominous clouds all around us. The office is decorated like an old western town, but it is only the facade, I think. And there's the pool. Of course, not much in use this time of the year, which is February, by the way. What to do on an iffy weather day like today? Well, groceries, of course. Visit the local Walmart neighborhood market, like a local.
Well, the weather has improved, quite dramatically so. Maybe we can go explore.
Seems like the vintage trailer ladies are having some kind of get-together. Let's go into town. TripAdvisor recommended the park at River Walk, here in Bakersfield. So this is where I came, and it's a nice park behind a shopping mall with an amphitheater and picnic tables. There's a little creek next to the Kern River.
Well, hello there.
I still have this strange notion that I can talk to birds and that somehow they understand. It is very pretty. Also seems to be the place where locals come to get their picture taken. It's been one of those days. It rains, then the sun comes out, it rains again. So for most of the day I've been catching up on some work, some video editing, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. Tomorrow the adventure continues. How about some chicken with mushrooms and onions?
Well, good morning. How about some orange juice for breakfast? Fresh. Doesn't get any better than this. I did wash them. A little bit of vodka, perhaps? Nah, just kidding. This is nothing like a freshly squeezed glass of orange juice from oranges from your own orange tree. And if anything, that's a great feature of this RV park. Every site has at least one orange tree, your own. So, and there's also, this is delicious. So sweet. I actually, all my life I thought Tropicana was what orange juice was supposed to taste like, and this is totally different. It's amazing. Well, I'm getting my vitamin C and let's get this show on the road.
First, let me return that fruit picker.
Apparently all these vintage trailers here, it's a group of ladies that travel together. They're called the Sisters on the Fly. Pretty cool. And they all have these super cute vintage trailers. Very nice. By the way, I got gypped. These orange trees have a lot more oranges than mine. I'm not complaining. Hear that? There's a train that the whole night it was, you know, like every half an hour there's a train passing by. And they just blow the horn like to wake everybody up. I don't know. This was a nice park. I'm gonna miss it. We have a nice view of the mountains to the east as the sun is coming out. And don't be fooled by this relatively nice weather. It is supposed to rain today. Again. Yeah, listen to that horn. This is my street here. Check that one out.
Okay, let's go.
think we're okay. Another Micro Minnie, check it out.
Take the next right onto
Hey,
Orange
twin.
Grove Drive, then turn left to stay on Orange Grove Drive.
Okay, so for the past couple of days, I've been feeling a little down. I haven't been feeling well physically or emotionally, and the rain doesn't help. And but this morning I woke up and I'm like, dude, wake up! You're like one of those privileged human beings who are able to do what they love, you know.
Take the next left onto Orange Grove Drive, then turn left to stay on Orange Grove Drive.
I mean, being away from family kind of sucks. But still, you know, I'm being able to make a living doing what I do best and doing what I love. So, you know what?
Take the next left to stay on Orange Grove Drive, then turn left onto South Edison Road.
Everybody's leaving the RV park today. A change of plans. That's the other thing. I've been like bent on going the path that I had chosen, you know, Death Valley, then we're gonna do 395 North, and it's raining and it's snowing in the mountains.
South Edison Road.
So you know what? We're making a change of plans. I'm heading to Las Vegas. We might take the scenic route, but we're heading to Las Vegas. There's no rain forecasted for Las Vegas for today or tomorrow. So maybe not Las Vegas proper, but maybe Lake Mead or some BLM nearby. That's the plan anyway. Could also change.
So, yeah, that's the story. This is actually a pivot point in the whole trip. Up until last night, I still had the hope, the wishful thinking I might be able to continue north all the way to Cape Flattery, which is pretty much the northwestern tip of the lower 48. But if I can't control the weather, there's one thing I have certain control of, and that's my route. Let's call my temporary emotional ailment the mid-trip blues. I've been on the road for a whole month, which is the second longest I've been on the road, and this happens to be more or less the halfway point, time-wise, of my trip. Also, I've been kind of in the same general area for too long. It is time to move on. Sometimes you have to pinch yourself and realize how lucky you are. We're still gonna do a little bit of the US 395, by the way, but then we're taking that detour I mentioned through Death Valley and eventually Las Vegas. We'll save the rest of the 395 for the summer. I'm coming back to California anyways for VidCon, so it works out perfect. By the way, beautiful drive through here. I'm so glad to be moving again. By the way, did you notice we are back in the desert? I'm gonna stop here for a few minutes, take a break. I actually need to use the bathroom. How nice, how convenient to be able to carry your bathroom with you wherever you go.
Woo. It's windy. It's kind of chilly outside. I don't know what temperature it is, but whew. Let's see. It's colder than I expected. It's probably the high altitude. We are at 2,700 feet, more or less. And 54. It's not that cold, but I guess it's windy. You know, this good weather is putting me in a good mood. It's kind of cloudy, but I want to change my mind again. I have a star at a town called Randsburg. Let's go to Death Valley. That's what the original plan was.
Head northwest toward California 14 North, then turn right onto California 14 North. Continue on California 14 North for 14 miles.
Oh no, the road to Randsburg is closed due to some flooding apparently. We'll have to come back some other time. This area coming up is Red Rock Canyon State Park. Beautiful. Not stopping today though, it is impossible to see everything, but as I said, I'll be back. This is such an incredible drive. Still, I'm kind of bummed out I can't continue north because of the snow and the weather, but now I have something to look forward to in my summer road trip, because I hear it gets even better. We are definitely in the land of the Joshua Tree again. As I said in my Driving to the West song, the mountains and the desert are my fix. And I'm definitely getting plenty of both. Here's the junction with the 178 that I took to the hot springs. I was considering it as an alternate route. It is a little bit shorter distance-wise, but it would have taken much longer because of it being such a winding road. I am not complaining though. This has been a beautiful drive so far.
We are now officially on the 395, California 395 highway, or is it US 395, which I intend to take further north, but not today. Today we're gonna take a detour. Called the Eastern Sierra Scenic Byway.
Here we are at the Fossil Falls entrance. Let's check it out. In one version of my plan, I was going to overnight here, since there is a primitive campground actually. I won't lie, I'm a little concerned because it's been raining a lot, as you know, and the terrain is still kind of wet. I am worried about getting stuck, but I think we're gonna be fine. Let's think positive, right? Well, sometimes you have to do magic to park with a trailer at some of these places. Kind of makes me wish for a 4x4 camper van.
Well, the ground is definitely wetter than I expected, but I think we're gonna be okay. Let's check out the Fossil Falls. It's only 0.2 miles, according to the sign.
Here's a sign with some information. It turns out the falls are dry. What a disappointment. And they've been for a while, many thousands of years.
Okay, the campground is that way. Yeah, see, the ground is a little wetter than I hoped. I'm gonna go back, get my hiking shoes because it's not gonna cut it.
Alright, I'm back on the trail, I think. By the way, isn't this place like literally out of this world? It almost looks like another planet. And this landscape with the eastern Sierra Nevada, oh, breathtaking. What an exceptionally beautiful place this is. Also, even though we are relatively close to the road, the silence, where the only sounds are your footsteps and the occasional wind gust.
Yeah, I went off trail back there for a second.
Yeah, not the easiest trail to follow, at least for a novice like me.
So this is Fossil Falls, huh? It's merely a trickle.
Well, yeah, not as entirely dry as we were led to believe.
Oh, wow. Check that out.
The canyon, almost more impressive than the falls. And the only reason we got water is because it's been raining nearly every day. It's been an unusually wet winter, for sure, for California. I was gonna get closer to the rim, but the rocks are very slippery. Very, very interesting, all these rock formations, carved by water that flowed here thousands of years ago.
Maybe I should get out of here. Such cool rock formations here. I'm trying to get to a vantage point from where you can really see. Check that out, check that rock down there. Well, there is a canyon. There you go, that's better. The thing is, since it rained, the rock is very slippery. The rock is very, very slippery. So that's the falls right there.
Well, not really, but I think it's kind of ironic that because of the rain we get this trickle of waterfall here, where in the past a raging river used to flow. Well, I'm gonna start heading back. Hopefully I won't lose the trail this time. I was thinking of following the couple with the small child that were here just moments ago, but they are gone. So I'm on my own again.
Oh yeah, that was very cool. And a good hike, you know, a good way to break my my day, you know, do a hike. If I can only find the trail back, it would be great. I think it was through here. Yeah, this is it. There it is. Minitini. Yeah, the trail is easier to follow going this way, I guess. Maybe I just suck following trails. How's that for a concept?
Such a beautiful contrast between these ragged rocks and the snow-capped mountains of the Sierra. Yay, we made it back to the parking lot.
And we're back. Well, according to Air Map, this is a national park and special use airspace. So, just in case, I'm not gonna fly. Although the national park is not quite here. The national park is like here to the west, but...
Well, yes, technically I could have flown the drone over Fossil Falls, and in hindsight, maybe I should have. Special use doesn't really mean you can't fly, just to use caution. National parks, of course, are a no-no, and we're going into one, a very famous one, very soon. So there will not be any drone flying for the next couple of days.
Yeah, a little bit of washboard. I'll take it slow. I already made Minitini dirty.
Whenever I get on a muddy road, It splashes all over me and it's in the trailer. Remember Alabama? I'm gonna have to get me some mud flaps in the future. By the way, that looks like a pretty sweet 4x4 camper van, like for adventure travel. Just saying. I may want something a little more comfortable myself, but I can see how it could work out for someone else. Let's stop at this rest area. Yes, gas station with a view.
Well, at $3.79 that was pretty expensive gas, but I don't know where I'm gonna find another gas station. So, let's fill it up. The next time we fill up, it's probably gonna be in Nevada anyways. Well, it's about 45 minutes to Death Valley. Let's do it!
I bet you it is raining on the other side of those mountains. And it is. Amazing how the Sierra manages to block the rainy clouds and the bad weather. So it is beautiful on this side. Maybe we get lucky, leaving the bad weather behind.
I'm glad I put gas back there. Here is $3.99 per gallon. By the way, isn't that amazing? Can you see those mountains? It's like...
In a quarter mile, turn right onto California 190 East.
Death Valley, 104 miles. We're almost there.
Continue on California 190 East for 33 miles.
33, the magic number.
33 miles to the sign that I saw that says Death Valley, but it says 90 miles to Death Valley. I guess they mean like the center of the Death Valley, I suppose, I assume.
Yeah, the sign says 104, the GPS says 90, and my other GPS says 33 to the park entrance. It is such a large national park, I guess it depends how you measure it. I'm assuming the street sign marks the distance to the main visitor center at Furnace Creek, but who knows?
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
No cell phone coverage, and that's according to the coverage app here. Cell phone coverage is gonna be spotty. Coming soon.
I'm getting hungry. Alright, let's break for lunch. Right here.
So I'm gonna cook me a chicken breast. It's marinated with turmeric and salt, pepper, and this stuff that Illy bought in Quartzsite. It's a Bloody Mary mix, but apparently it can also be used as a marinade, and it works really well actually.
It was actually 2 cutlets, lean and healthy. I am going to demi-glace with some Cuban beer, actually courtesy of fellow Pelican head Alex, Culture Lifestyle Travel. I'll drink the rest.
A bit of baby spinach and kale mix. And that's what I call a quick lunch. On the side of the road, on our way to Death Valley. I added a tiny little bit of salsa. It might be messy. It will be messy. Wait, wasn't this a beautiful setting for our quick lunch here? Yeah, desolate beauty. Only a few of these yucca cacti. Are those yucca or are those are Joshua trees? Well, that was lunch at, let me check here with my GPS, at 5,246 feet of altitude. And I don't know, it looks like More clouds are coming from the west, so let me show you before I go. That rain prediction for tomorrow might be true. I mean, let's hope not. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue towards Death Valley. El Valle de la Muerte.
And that will be the next video, in which we will visit one of the lowest and hottest places in the world. If you find this video to be perhaps a little dated, you know it was filmed in February and I'm publishing in May, you can keep a little more up to date with my travels in my Instagram, @TravelingRobert. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.